Okay, so thanks so much for joining me. So this is everything that my daughter read in July, and then a small haul, which is a mixed haul that's thrifted items and then stuff from the library. So I have it's mostly like independent reads for my daughter, and then maybe like a couple homeschoolish books. Okay, so first I'm starting with what she read in the month of July, and it's pretty much Fablehaven. So here is Fablehaven by Brandon Mull, and this is book 3. Okay, sorry, I have in my order book 4 and book 5. So she had a Fablehaven month, and she really, really, really loves this series. And yeah, so this is one of her new favorite series. Very much fantasy, very much about like dragons, and like since I don't have the first one, I don't want to read the synopsis and give anything away, you guys, but if your kids like reading fantasy, they might very well like this. And so those were the 3 books that she read in July. Plus she also read summer reading, but I already uploaded that video last, and so some of those books were books she read in July. So that was those 3, and then now I'm going to show you guys what she's currently reading before I do the haul. So again, Fablehaven. Yet, this is book 1 of a Fablehaven adventure, which is like a different series called Dragons, like Dragon Watch. So this one's like the dragons are no longer our allies in the hidden dragon sanctuary of Wyrmroost. Oh my gosh, I am bad with the fancy words. Wyrm Roost. Celebrant the Just, king of the dragons, plots his revenge. He has long seen the sanctuaries as prisons, and he wants nothing more than to overthrow his captors and return the world to the age of dragons, when he and his kind ruled and reigned without borders. So yeah, so again, very much fantasy, same, author, similar content. Oh, it has some illustrations. So yeah, so she's really loving everything to do with Fablehaven right now. And so she's working on this, and I requested the next one from the library, but they're out. So I reserved it. So we're waiting on book 1. See, she's already almost finished it. So she'll probably definitely finish it by the end of July, because I'm filming this video with 4 days left in July. Okay, so moving on. Now I'm going to get to the haul. Okay. So the first place is Half Price Books. So I went to Half Price Books. We went to Savers, thrift store, and then I got some stuff from the library. Okay, so this is from Half Price Books. This is Wings of Fire Legends Darkstalker by Tui T. Sutherland. Okay, so this is similar to the Dragon Watch with Fablehaven. This is like, I think, an additional book to the Wings of Fire series. So it's like Wings of Fire. Ooh, it has some really nice color. Oh, these cut print. Oh, you could take, it's like you could tear this out and make little stand-up things. But yeah, so actually this isn't hers. That was left in the book. Okay, so this is Wings of Fire Legends Darkstalker. So like I said, I think this is like another part of the Wings of Fire series, but it's not actually in the original. And again, very much fantasy, very much about dragons. And so she hasn't started it yet, but she's very excited. Okay. So this I picked out for her from Savers. This is a classic, like a modern classic for kids. Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. If I'm saying that correctly. What if you could live forever? I see this book everywhere. I think because it's on like a lot of recommended reading lists, so I see it almost every time I go to thrift stores. And it's like, is eternal life a blessing or a curse? That's what young Winnie Foster must decide when she discovers a spring on her family's property whose waters grant immortality. Members of the Tuck family, having drunk from the spring, tell Winnie of their experiences watching life go by and never growing older. But then Winnie must decide whether or not to keep the Tuck's secret and whether or not to join them on the never-ending journey. So like that it has that mystery in it. It's kind of like you're posed with that question of like you find obviously the magical, water, creek, whatever, and then or river, spring, and you're like, oh, if you drink it, you could live forever, but would you want to? I like how it poses that question, and so I want my daughter to read it. Okay, so this is a book that I've already shown on this channel many times, but I just got another copy of it. This is The Little Prince, and this one, I didn't really look at it too much. I already wrote to my daughter for me. I got it for my daughter because she told me, I have another copy of it, and she told me, she's like, you could have that one. So I was like, well, I want to get her one, and I just happened to see this one at the thrift store. So I got this for her, and I told her I want her to like reread it periodically throughout her life because we've all read it together and stuff like that. But yeah, so I just wanted her to have a copy because it's one of my favorite books, but it's not one of her favorite books. But I told her you'll probably like it more as you get older, even though it's a children's classic. Like, I think it's like very complex. Like, I don't know if she like quite got it yet. So I really want her to read it again and again. So I'm giving her this copy. And then she picked out this on her own from Half Price Books. I had never heard of this book before. I asked her, I was like, where'd you hear about this book? She's like, oh, I just read about it somewhere, something like that. It's like Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I think it's YA. Let me see if it says. Sometimes it'll say like the ages and stuff. Author of the #1 New York Times bestselling series, The Lunar Chronicles, comes a high-stakes world of adventure, passion, danger, and betrayal. The Renegades are a syndicate of prodigies, humans with extraordinary abilities, who emerged from the ruins of a crumbled society and established peace and order where chaos reigned. So, let's see if it says. Well, it was in like the YA middle grade section, so I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's YA, just based on how it looks. I don't know why I can tell sometimes. Yeah, I definitely think it's YA. Just reading the first sentence. Yeah, I definitely think it's for, I'm okay. My daughter's only 10, and she hasn't read a whole lot of YA. She reads mostly middle grade, but I'm okay with her reading YA. I'd honestly be okay with her reading even adult books. But I know some people, like I know they have like Common Sense Media and things like that. I didn't look it up, but you might want to. But if it sounds interesting to you. So apparently she wrote, I don't know if these are based on like Cinder, Scarlet, like fairy tales or whatever. But yeah. So my daughter, like I said, she heard about it somehow. And so yeah, she will be checking it out. But like I said, this is definitely, I think, for more mature, based on the content I just read. Definitely older YA. Okay. And then the next one is actually like I'm calling like a homeschool book because it is something that I would typically buy for like our homeschool or check out from the library. It's DK Goddesses and Heroines Meet More Than AD Legendary Women from Around the World. So yeah, so this book is just really pretty. And it has like all the different goddesses, mortals, about the myths. So we are focusing on Greek mythology for 5th grade. And I thought this would be nice. I might check it out another time from the library because she definitely probably won't finish it before we start homeschool because we're in July. But I might check it out again for her to read. But I think it's really nice. These DK books are generally usually pretty well written. So yeah. So there's a mythology book I want her to try. And then these are 3 library books I checked out for her. She requested this one because she wants to finish a series. This is Land of Stories, Worlds Collide by Chris Colfer. This is book 6, Colfer. Okay. So yeah, so this one is inspired by fairy tales. And she really loves this series. Sorry, this has been, I always try to fix books when they're all messed up. I don't know why. Okay, I like to see them nice and neat. But yeah, so she wants to continue this series. I was seeing if they had illustrations. So she really loves this series. If your child likes books based on fairy tales, I'm not going to read it because it's a 6th book, the synopsis, but I know it's very much based on fairy tales. Okay, now the next two, let me say the first one. This was recommended to me by the Mama Librarian, who has a YouTube channel. And so I was talking in my last video about saying that my daughter really likes the Aragon series, and I was looking for other books that might be challenging or might be similar, and she recommended this book for us to try. And it actually, right here on the cover, it says, beautifully written, some of the most interesting dragons I've read in fantasy by Christopher, I think it's Paolini or Paoloni. So he wrote the Aragon series, and he actually is right on the cover. So gosh, like, thank you so much for leading us in this direction. So this is by Rachel Hartman. So I don't know if my daughter is going to be able to get to this right now because she has so many books right now on her cart, and then TBR cart, and then we're about to start 5th grade. But I want her to try it, and then I might buy it for her for like Christmas or for her birthday, or I might buy it in general, or she can just finish it. So she already tried it, and she said she really likes the writing. So yeah, it's like 4 decades of peace have done little to ease the mistrust between humans and dragons in the kingdom. Folding themselves into human-shaped, dragons attend the court as ambassadors and lend their rational mathematical minds to universities as scholars and teachers. As the treaty's anniversary draws near, however, tensions are high. Seraphina has reason to fear both sides. As a gifted musician, she joins the court just as another member of the royal family is murdered in suspiciously Draconarian fashion. Okay, so I think this is YA. Let's see if it says the age. I'm not sure if it's middle grade or YA. I'm always looking up books for my daughter, and I can't keep up. So it has like a glossary in the back. Doesn't say. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's YA like the Aragon series is. But yeah, it looks really interesting, and she's really into it so far. She wants to try it. So here's Tamora Pierce, Tempest and Slaughter. So this is YA. This also came recommended by someone online so this one I found when I was just searching for similar books to Aragon series. And a lot of people recommended this author, Tamora Pierce, this author. And so it's like, Abram Draper is on the path to becoming one of the realm's most powerful mages. Gosh, I'm bad at this fancy magic stuff. The youngest student in his class at the Imperial University of Carthage. He has a gift with unlimited potential for greatness and for attracting trouble. At his side are his 2 best friends, Varys, a clever girl with an overlooked talent, and Ozorn, the leftover prince with secret ambitions. Together, these 3 friends forge a bond that will one day shape kingdoms. Yeah, so it sounds like it has like some magic, definitely some complicated names, which my daughter will like. Some world building, it has a map. So yeah, very much fantasy.
Hi, sorry about this transition of the video, but these 3 books I noticed when editing that they got left out because my phone storage was full. So this is Harry Potter, The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. Yeah, so this is a book, I believe it's like maybe books that were mentioned in the Harry Potter series or something like that. This is just a companion, I believe, to like the Harry Potter series that my daughter never read. And so yeah, that was a book she picked out from Savers. And then this is a book I picked out for homeschool because we're focusing on STEAM this year. And this is The Most Magnificent Thing. And it's a picture book. It's all about this little girl and her dog, and she's an inventor. And I just got it as a really quick, cute read for my daughter during the STEAM part of the homeschool. And it's all about like having confidence in yourself and trying again and trying more if your inventions or something you do doesn't work out. It's just like a little confidence builder and creativity builder to kind of get a quick little look into this book about experimenting and, you know, not everything works out the first time or even the 10th time. So yeah, so that's the next one. And then this one is a middle grade fantasy, Riders of the Realm Across the Dark Water by Jennifer Lynn Alvarez. My daughter picked this one out. This is very much a fantasy middle grade. I think it has like unicorns and dragons and just all the kind of stuff like world building and all these interesting words, things like that, right up her alley. So yeah. So that was the last one. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye.